Hello, everyone. It's a privilege to share with you the story behind the COVID-19 Plasma Alliance. But before I do, let's talk about the history of convalescent plasma and hyperimmunes. The first known use of convalescent plasma was in 1890, when it was used by Emil von Behring to treat diphtheria. He then won a Nobel Prize in 1901 for doing so. Since then, both convalescent plasma and hyperimmunes have been used throughout time to treat various diseases. This is why, when the COVID-19 pandemic began, Takeda started a development program to develop a hyperimmune to potentially treat COVID-19 in March. However, we quickly realized that we could do more for this pandemic by collaborating. And so at a global PPTA board meeting, I put out a call to action for collaboration. Afterwards, CSL and Takeda formed the CoVIg-19 Alliance. So what is the COVID-19 Plasma Alliance? Well, it is a partnership of 13 plasma companies, plus a number of other companies that have come together to help address the challenge that we are currently facing. We have two primary objectives. The first is to accelerate the development of a potential hyperimmune to treat COVID-19. And the second is to potentially increase the supply and availability of the hyperimmune if it is approved. And here you see the members of the Alliance. But let's hear directly from the Joint Steering Committee members themselves.
As the novel coronavirus pandemic has extended to nearly every corner of the globe, organizations all over the world have raced to pursue potential therapeutic solutions.
As plasma-derived therapies have been effective in past pandemics, plasma companies began to evaluate how we could leverage our infrastructure and capabilities to help address this global health crisis. We quickly realized that by collaborating, we could develop a solution much faster and potentially treat more people worldwide.
And so, the CoVIg-19 Plasma Alliance was formed in April 2020, a unique partnership of some of the world's leading plasma companies to address the COVID-19 pandemic.
PPTA members have joined forces to produce, develop, and distribute a plasma-derived hyperimmune globulin medicine. The goal of the Alliance is simple: to do the right thing for patients and public health.
Once individuals recover from COVID-19, their plasma contains antibodies to the virus, known as COVID-19 Convalescent Plasma, or CCP. Donated CCP can be transfused directly into a COVID-19 patient, or it can be processed into a high-quality medication containing consistently high levels of antibodies.
Making a potential plasma-derived medicine to treat COVID-19 a reality requires multiple important and complex steps, and in view of the urgency, must be done at record speed. By leveraging our members' combined expertise and existing infrastructure, we have accelerated our efforts and moved at an extraordinary pace. This is the power of the Alliance.
In a matter of months, COVID-19 Plasma Alliance members established and implemented the processes to collect convalescent plasma and began manufacturing HIG.
By bringing together our collection networks under the Alliance, potential donors can visit one out of more than 500 collection facilities located in the United States, Germany, Austria, Czech Republic, Hungary, and the Netherlands.
Now, with clinical materials successfully produced and larger-scale production underway, the Alliance is participating in an NIH-driven global clinical trial.
The NIH is leading a rigorous, well-controlled clinical trial to evaluate the safety and efficacy of HIG in patients recently hospitalized with COVID-19. If successful, this trial will form the basis for regulatory submissions.
There is yet more to be done. Of course, we could not have achieved such rapid progress without the generosity of COVID-19 patients who are taking time to donate their plasma, antibody-rich plasma, to contribute to these efforts.
The groundswell of community support for plasma donation blossomed into a broad and diverse effort by the global blood and plasma community.
Over 30 world-leading organizations, patient groups, and companies came together to form a coalition called The Fight Is In Us. It's been extraordinary to see the strong support from voices outside of the industry, including celebrities, to raise the awareness around plasma donation.
With plasma awareness higher than ever before, there is an opportunity to build on this momentum to support communities that rely on plasma-derived therapies every day.
Our call for action extends well beyond providing an effective treatment for COVID-19. This pandemic has only reinforced our commitment to those patients who rely on our plasma-derived therapies as life-sustaining and life-saving therapies.
We thank the entire plasma community for your efforts in helping to address this global health crisis. For the companies involved in this program, it has been a profound experience. For PPTA and our plasma community, the moment to demonstrate our value is now. Together, we are stronger. So as you heard in the video, our ambition is bold, but we also had to be practical to get the work done. So in addition to the Joint Steering Committee, there are a number of other groups that are focused on particular aspects of the program to drive the work forward. And why did we decide to call it COVID-19? Well, it's an acronym for Coronavirus Immunoglobulin to treat COVID-19. So we took that to create CoVIg-19. It is an unbranded name, so under the Alliance, we are not creating separate brand names for each company. We will all be referring to it as CoVIg-19. Now let me walk you through a high-level overview of the program. So of course, we started with plasma collection in March when Takeda kicked off the program, but then the Alliance was formed with our first meeting occurring on April 9th. And after that point, all of the Alliance members who had plasma collection centers began collecting convalescent plasma. We started the manufacturing of the clinical supply materials in May, and we are currently waiting for the clinical trial to start. And hopefully, by the time you see this, the clinical trial will have started and we will be well on our way to completing enrollment. Once the trial is completed, we will then submit for regulatory approvals. The first step in the process is plasma collection. So here on this map, you see the network of centers that are currently collecting COVID-19 convalescent plasma in the US. In addition to the Alliance centers, we have added Grifols to this map. The yellow dots represent the locations where we will be manufacturing the hyperimmune. The next step in the process is the clinical trial. And here we are partnering with NIAID, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases under the NIH. In addition to the Alliance, both Grifols and Emergent are participating in this platform trial. So there will actually be 4 hyperimmunes tested, 1 from Grifols, 1 from Emergent, and 2 from the Alliance. We've been in close contact with the FDA, EMA, and PMDA in Japan to share with them our intent and the concept behind the platform trial. In terms of the study design, there will be roughly 500 patients enrolled, and they will be randomized 1-to-1. 50% will go on placebo plus standard of care, and for the purposes of this study, remdesivir has been defined as the standard of care, and then 50% of the patients will receive the hyperimmune plus standard of care. The primary endpoint is collected on day 7, and there are a number of secondary endpoints that will be collected on day 28. So in addition to the Alliance that was formed, we have also joined a larger coalition under the umbrella of The Fight Is In Us. We did this because there's a high need to create awareness around the urgency of the need for COVID-19 convalescent plasma. In addition to the hyperimmune development, as many of you are aware, there are also other studies ongoing to support convalescent plasma used directly in transfusion to treat COVID-19 patients. So The Fight Is In Us covers both uses, convalescent plasma for transfusion as well as convalescent plasma for hyperimmune development. And this is a group of over 30 organizations, private and public, that are supporting this cause. The campaign was launched in the US, and it also has support from a number of different celebrities. The overall objective of this coalition is to raise the awareness around the need, the urgency of the need for convalescent plasma donation. So please go to thefightisinuS.org to learn more. And if you or anyone that you know has recovered from COVID-19, please ask them to go to the site and learn how they can donate and contribute. Thank you.